Ready for shootout round? Okay. Let's see. So, what is the storage service that AWS is providing to store all your files and photos? S3. What is the full form of S3? Simple storage service. Okay, so this S3 is limited storage or unlimited storage? Unlimited storage. So in S3, we can upload and download Access files, correct? Is it possible to install operating system databases? No. Is it possible to run any applications in S3? No. Okay. S3 is server based or serverless? Serverless. So do we need to worry about high availability, performance, scalability, etc. for S3? No. Okay. And in S3, what do we create? Buckets. What does the bucket contains? Objects. Okay. What is the name of the object called? Key. S3 is global or regional? Global. Buckets are regional. Buckets are regional. S3 is what based storage? Object based storage. What is that? Object based storage. Very good. So S3 provides some advanced feature. What is that feature? Static website hosting. So we can just create a bucket and then just upload all your files and then boom. And then static website hosting is done. Okay. And what are hard disks called in EC2? Volumes. What volumes are those? Oh, EBS volumes. What is the full form of EBS? L-axis block storage. Super. And when you are launching the EC2 instance, a default volume will come with it. What is the default volume called? Root volume. Do you all agree that volumes can be attached and detached? So we have a root volume and the rest of the volumes are called additional volumes. How many root volumes you can have per instance? One. And what does the root volume contains always? OS, operating system. And can we have multiple additional volumes? Yes. What is the maximum size of the volume? 16 TB. So does the EC2 supports client-side operating systems? No, it provides server-based operating systems. So is it possible to increase the volume size on fly? Yes. Do you need to stop the EC2 instance for that? No. Is it possible to decrease the volume size? No. If you want to decrease, what do you have to do? Delete that volume and recreate it. So volumes can be pre-provisioned how much ever you want. Yes. Okay. And is it possible to detach the root volume while EC2 is running? What do you have to do? Stop the EC2 instance and then detach it. Is it possible to detach the additional volume? Yes. Recommended? Not recommended. EC2 instance has availability zones. Volumes has availability zones. And Volumes has availability zones? Yes. Volumes has availability zones? Yes. And the EC2 instance and volume should be in the same availability zone? EC2 instance and volume should be in the same availability zone. So 1A volume can be attached to 1B EC2 instance. 1B volume can be attached to 1A EC2 instance. 1A volume can be attached to 1A EC2 instance. 1B volume can be attached to 1B EC2 instance. One volume can be attached to multiple EC2 instances at the same time? No. Super. I don't have any other questions. Everything you're answering, guys. Super. Did you revise or in brains? Brains. Oh, everyone brains, huh? Am I on my words? Yes or no? Initially, I told you, right? You know, need to revise, everything will be injected in your brains, huh? Very good. Super. So, very good, ma. Let me share my screen. All right. So can you please confirm? Can you see my screen and can you hear me well? Okay. Fine. So today, let us start with this. Okay. Thank you. So let us start with this. So yesterday we have learned about EBS. Guys, that is just a trailer on EBS. We'll go deeper when we go into the topics. Okay. So now we have understood that is it possible to attach a single volume to multiple EC2 instances? No. So I'll start with that. Is it possible to attach a single volume to multiple EC2 instances? Answer is no. So what if I need to do that? So let's say, for example, I have so many EC2 instances today. So I have EC2 instance in 1A, in 1B, in 1C. Like this, I have EC2 instance in different availability zones. So I need to have a shared storage. What you need to have? Shared storage. So that shared storage can be attached to all EC2 instances. So which is the service that it provides is, the next service that we're going to talk about is EFS, Elastic File System. Right on. Elastic File System. Chitty, what is that? Elastic File System, EFS. So what is EFS? I'll put it in very simple thing. So let's assume we have 3 EC2 instance. 1, 2. So we have 3 EC2 instances. So this is EC2 instance. This is another EC2 instance, EC2 instance. I haven't discussed about the topic yet. Gopi, listen this, okay? So we have this EC2 instances. I can say the first EC2 instance in 1A, the second EC2 instance in 1B, and third EC2 instance in 1C. Okay, ma? I have EC2 instances in 3 different availability zones. So this EC2 instance have its own volumes. Yes, it has its own root volume. It can also have its own additional volume also, correct? Everyone has their own volumes and everyone can have. Akash, you're asking what is EC2 instance? Did you miss the classes? What are the EC2 instance, guys? It's a virtual machine, okay? Or your second day. Don't worry, please get the videos from admin and please watch those 1-hour videos. That will be okay for you. So EC2 instance is nothing but the virtual machines. Okay, this is the root volume. These are all the root volumes and root volume city. And the rest, this one are all additional volumes. Okay. So Chiti, now if I log into this EC2 instance, okay, you got 10, man, you got 10 demo video recorded links. Huh? Enjoy, Madi. Take those 10. Okay, good. Copy that. So, okay, see here. So guys, here, we have, let's suppose we have logged into this EC2 instance. When you log into the EC2 instance, you will be in the desktop, correct? You will be in the desktop. Okay. 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 So you'll be on the desktop. The desktop is nothing but C drive only. Desktop is nothing but C drive only. So here, whenever we logged into the EC2 instance, we'll be in the root volume. Yes or no? We'll be in the root volume. So if I put any data here called ABC, here, that same ABC data will be available in the second and third EC2 instances? No, because the volumes cannot be shared. Whatever the volume we have, the root volume, it is only for the first EC2 instance. And second EC2 instance has its own volume. So whenever I put some data, that will not be automatically copied to some other EC2 instances. But what if I need to have that? What if I need to have a shared storage? I need to have a shared storage so that all EC2 instances need to have a common shared storage. And that is why we have EFS. And EFS will come here. Got it, Chite? This is EFS. So EFS is Elastic File System. So guys, this Elastic File System is completely managed by AWS. You don't need to do anything. There is a button called Create EFS with some configurations. I'll tell you what are the configurations when we go into the hands-on. You just need to do that configuration and then click on Create. Bus. EFS will be created. And what is your job? You need to, guys, you need to mount this EFS to your EC2 instances. You need to mount the same EFS. We need to mount it to the all EC2 instances. Correct, Chite? What is the meaning of mount here? Attach. So generally, in which it's regular only, Omkar. Okay, guys, see here. The second one, which I told you, these are not additional volumes. These are not additional volumes. So generally, for your laptops, if you put pen drive, if you attach any pen drive, will it create a temporary mount point called D drive or E drive in your laptop? Same way here also, whenever you are attaching this EFS to the EC2 instance, you need to mount it. That mount is nothing but this one. This is the mount. Correct? It's like a share tab. Yes. So you mount it here. So now, whenever you log into the EC2 instance and you go to this mount point and you put some data called DF or some file, and this DF will be indirectly saved here in EFS, correct? Yes, obviously that will be shared, that will be copied, that will be stored here in EFS, because that is the same EFS we are mounting it, no? As a volume, as a mount point. It's not a volume also, it's a mount point. How you are attaching the pen drive to your laptop, the same way EFS we are mounting it. And then whenever you put any data inside it, obviously it will be going inside your pen drive only, you know. So you have a laptop, you attach a pen drive and you copied some files in your D drive. D drive meaning, is it a laptop D drive or it is your pen drive? It's a pen drive, correct? So all the data is saving in your pen drive. Same way here also, when you create an EFS and mount the EFS to the EC2 instance, and you go inside that mount point and put some files, that files will be indirectly stored in EFS. Got that? Got that? So now, the same EFS is getting mounted here. So the same DF files will be over here and also and here. Yes. because the same EFS we are mounting to the multiple EC2 instances. That's the reason why we get the same data on all the EC2 instances. This is how mounting meaning attach, Apurva. The same way I gave an example of pen drive. Whenever you attach a pen, whenever you put a pen drive to your laptop, it creates a mount point, right? It's create a mount point. EFS stands for, can you look up, Mishra? Elastic File System. You got this point? So in your olden days, guys, not in olden days, in your companies, I don't know. So those who are working inside the companies, they will get to know. See here. Let's say these are all your laptops. You're working for it. You're working for a team. Okay, you are working for a team. These are all your laptops. Okay, these are all your laptops, your workstations. Now these are all in from one team. Now I need to share one small file. Let's say hello.txt file. There is a txt file that I need to share. Can you tell me this hello.txt file I need to share to each and every individual person? Is it possible for me to share? What do you do? Yeah, what do you do? So your network administrator, what he'll do is he'll create a separate server. Have you heard about the name called file server in your companies? So we have file server. What is file server will do? So you set up the file server and you put this hello.txt inside the file server in a folder. And then all your laptops will be connected to this file server. How do you open? You open like in your go to run and then you put // and then server name /hello.txt will get open. Correct? So can I say this NFS network file system? Your file system is mounting through the network only for all the laptops through the network. So can I call it as NFS network file system? What is it, Chitti? Network file system. This is network file system. So this will be done in your companies. But in AWS, what is the same concept that can be implemented? The same concept is nothing but EFS. Now you got it? It is just like a file server that can be shared to multiple EC2 instances. So how many EC2 instances you can mount it for one EFS? Thousands. Thousands of EFS you can mount it for a single one EFS. And this EFS is completely managed by? So EFS is completely managed by AWS. And one more important thing here is this EFS is only for Linux EC2 instances. This EFS is for which operating systems? Only Linux. Chitti, this is only for Linux. This is only for Linux instances. There is chance of duplication for data that we need to handle it. Muralidhar. It's just like a Linux, right? It's just a Linux. Okay, now there is no chance of duplicating the data. How come you can duplicate it here? No, right? The same EFS, you are mounting it to all the machines. So if you are making the duplicate, by the way, duplicate files should be allowed in your Linux or Windows? No. Can you create the two files with the same name? Duplicate's not possible. Okay. So I was telling this, EFS is only for which type of operating systems? EFS is only for Linux EC2 instances. Very good. Then you might ask a question, sir, how about for Windows? So for Windows, it is FSX. What is that? FSX is for Windows EC2 instances. Guys, these are all certification questions. So which is the service for Windows? FSX. So FSX, there is no full form for FSX. So it is FSX is for Windows EC2 instances. For Linux, it is EFS. For Windows, it is FSX. Okay, now getting it? And this EFS works on which protocol? EFS works with NFS version 4 protocol. Which protocol, guys? NFS version 4. EFS works for which protocol? NFS version 4 protocol. Tell me, S3 is what based storage? Object based storage. EBS is what based storage? Block based storage. And EFS is file based storage. EFS is file based storage. You got it? Okay, question for you. Chitty, I want to have a shared storage on EC2 instances. Which concept that you will apply? EFS. What is the full form of EFS? Elastic File System. So EFS is for which type of operating systems? Linux. I need responses, guys. Linux. Very good. And EFS is completely managed by? So for Windows, it is FSX for Windows. And EFS works on which protocol? NFS version 4. What is the full form of NFS? Network File System. EFS is what based storage? File based storage. And also this EFS is unlimited storage. EFS is unlimited storage. Guys, in volume, for volumes, we need to pre-provision. And by the way, there is a question on, should I ask you one certification question in volumes, EBS? Let's say you have created a D drive of 100 GB, your D drive of 100 GB. And you are using only 20 GB there. So AWS charge for 20 GB or 100 GB? Huh? AWS charge for 100 GB. So it is up to you how much volume that you need to get. Once you got the volume, AWS will charge for that, whether you use it or not. So that's why I said unnecessarily, you cannot create big volumes. How much requirement you have, based on the requirement, you go and create it. So if you want to create 100 GB volume, Pusuk, you put one more zero, 1000 GB, you got it. And you said that I'll be using only 100 GB. So 900 GB AWS will give you free. No, right? What you need to do in that case, take the backup and then delete the volume, 1000 GB, and you recreate the 100 GB. Got it? Super. And here in volume should be pre-provision. How much we need to go and get it created, right? So, but whereas here in EFS, you no need to pre-provision because it is unlimited storage, no? So it is like our stomach. How much ever you put it, it will keep on increasing it, right? So how much ever you put it in EFS, based on how much you're putting the data, it will keep on increasing it. If you delete it, it will shrink. It will put it, it will increase. So it will not ask for how much size that you need. It doesn't ask. There is no pre-provision required. That's why it is unlimited. So here EFS doesn't require any pre-provisioning, right? So it will automatically increase and decrease based on the data you put. Got it, Iti? Super. Nice. Okay. Another certification question in EFS. EFS can be mounted to multiple EC2 instances across availability zones. Yes or no? You have to be very confident. Yes or no? Yes. Very good. Because do you see that? I have put the diagram. One is first EC2 instance in 1A, second one is in 1B, and third one is in 1C. So I can attach this EFS across different availability zones. So EFS can be mounted to multiple EC2 instances at the same time across availability zones. Is this clear? On EFS, everyone, CC? Non-IT, NCC? All okay? Okay, nice. You need to pay for what you have to use it, Apurva. So what does it mean by doesn't require any provision? So in EBS, in volumes, we go and create how much ever size we need, correct? If we need 50 GB, go and get a 50 GB. Click on create volume and it asks how much size that you need. Put 50 or 100, how much ever you need. That is called pre-provisioning. But that EFS, does it require, when you're creating EFS, does it ask for the size? It doesn't ask, it just get created. And how much data you put it, it will increase, it will manage it by itself. Okay. Okay, good. Now, I'll give you one question, one scenario. Chitti, one scenario. See here. Pavanveer, very good. Scenario here is you have 1 terabyte of photos. 1 terabyte of photos. And you want to tell me, where do you upload these photos in AWS? S3. In S3, you will go and upload it. You will store the photos there. If you want to download any small file from internet, remember, we used to download some movies from internet. 1 GB or 2 GB movies itself will take how much time to get downloaded? It'll take time, right? And even if you want to upload also, it'll take so much of time. 1 terabyte of data, will you able to upload to S3 with your normal internet connection? It will take so many days, correct? Imagine your company, in your you have your own data center. In your data center, you have 5 terabyte or 10 terabytes of data. How do you move that to AWS or S3? Will you move it online, upload? So for that, EFS is also in AWS itself. Does it EFS will help? No, because that is within the AWS. EC2 instance, EFS, both are in AWS itself. But I'm talking about on-premises data center, which is handled by us. I have, in my laptop, I have 10 terabyte data, macha, right? I need to go and upload it to S3. Can I upload it? Browse and then upload? No. So for this requirement, AWS came up with a solution, with a new service, with a service called Snow Family. Not Manchu Family, sorry. No Manchu Family, please. Okay. But the service name itself is Snow Family itself. So in this Snow Family, like how you have in original Snow Family, how many members are there? 3 members. 2 brothers and 1 sister, correct? Same here also. Here also in Snow Family, we have 3 devices. How many devices? 3 devices. So the Snow Family devices are Snow Cone, Snow Mobile, Snow Edge, and Snow Mobile. What are the three devices we have? Snow Cone, Snow Edge, Snow Mobile. We have three. Chitty, if you have Snow Cone supports 8 terabyte of data. Snow Edge supports 100 terabytes of data. Snow Mobile supports petabytes, PBs. So actually what is the Snow family is? Snow family is a physical data transfer. Chitty, what is that? Physical data transfer. What is physical data transfer? So it is like you need to go in order based on how much size you have. Based on how much size you have, let's say you have a size of requirement of what? Let's say 5 terabyte. So we have 5 terabyte of data. Can you tell me which device will be suitable? Snow Cone. So you need to go in order. You need to go to AWS console and order Snow Cone. So AWS will send you a Snow Cone. Snow Cone is nothing but it's like a briefcase. It's like a hard disk, a bigger hard disk. It looks like a suitcase, a mission. Same thing. How does the CPU looks like? The CPU looks like, it looks like the same thing, but little bit bigger, and you cannot tamper it. You cannot break it. You cannot decrypt it. It is super secure. So they will send this Snow Cone to your location if you order it, like how you get the courier. So they will courier it to you, and you take this Snow Cone to your laptop or to your mesh, to your servers, connect wire-to-wire connection, and then transfer all the data to the Snow Cone and send it back to AWS. So can you upload 5 terabyte data using online, guys? How many days? It will take ages, correct? But using this physical data transfer, you can done it in 1 or 2 or 3 days maximum, correct? So this is Snow Cone. So basically, remember, all these things will be pushed into which service? S3. So all your Snow Cone or Snow family data will be pushed to which service? S3. From S3 service, you can take it to EC2. Yes. You can take it to EFS. Yes. Everywhere you can take it. How do we take it? We'll see coming. It is not for free. So basically, nothing is free. Remember. Okay. So don't tell me, sir, please order Snow Cone for us and we'll see the demo. Huh? No, don't do that. So it is not free. Okay. Good. Snow Edge will be a device which supports 100 terabytes. How about this Snow Mobile? Snow Mobile petabytes. If you have huge, Snow Mobile, how does it look like? Container. In ships, we have big containers. No, lorries. In lorries, you have a truck, a big container. You will get a big. Okay, should I show you? So Snow AWS Snow Mobile. So if I show you, do you see this? Do you see this? This is Snow Mobile. It's a big truck. It is used to, so you take the truck and go to your data center and connect here, and it is a big storage. And how does the Snow Cone look like? Snow Cone look like this. It's like a hard disk. Snow Edge also looks like the same way. Little bit bigger. Okay. So these are all the physical devices, guys. So you understood now? So Snow family is used to transfer the data to S3 physically, right? Snow family is used to transfer huge data from on-prem to AWS and vice versa. How can we connect the Snow Mobile to our devices in data center using agent? Sharik. Who is going to do this transfer, client or AWS? We have to do that. when you send back this device to AWS, and you will be giving the information online that way in which bucket that you have, it has to store the data. So AWS will transfer it. So Snow family is a physical data transfer using devices. As I said, is it ensured? Yes, of course it is ensured or insured. So that meaning you don't need to worry about it, because as I said, it cannot be tampered, it cannot be breaked, it cannot be, it's very secure, it encrypted, it uses a very good high algorithms not to get, it will take it, only AWS people will come and take your data, not others, right? Is it clear on Snow family? So it is a physical data transfer to AWS. If I ask you a question, so if I ask you a question today, Snow family will send the data transfer to which service? Where does it upload all the data? S3. So if someone asks you, I have a huge data, like 50 terabytes of data, how do I upload from on-premises to AWS? So which service do you suggest? Yes. You suggest Snow family service. Based on the size, you select the devices. Got it? Super. And now, in S3, how it manages that huge data? Do we need to really worry on that? Did we learn that in S3? Do we need to really worry about the performance, availability, scalability of S3? No, because S3 is serverless for us. It's completely managed by AWS. Do we need to worry that how much, and that to S3 is limited or unlimited storage? How much ever terabytes that you put, it will take it. Okay. And also, now tell me, generally, most of the people might have done BTech or a degree, right? So in first year, you might have a photos with your friend. Second year, you change the friend and you have photos with second friend. Friend macha. Third year, again, you change the friend. And then third year also, you have so many photos. Fourth year also, you have so many photos with some other friend. And fifth year, you got a new friend. Who is that? Wife. Married, got her married. Okay. So now tell me, now in fifth year, can you tell me, do you keep all these 4 years photos in with you? What is this expressions, guys? Oh no, andar se nikal raha was. Okay, never. Huh? Okay, so you cannot take it. Okay, so you have so much of terabytes of data. If you want to leverage AWS, where do you keep all these photos? In S3 itself. If your wife Pusuk asked, give me the S3 credentials, AWS credentials, khatam, tata, bye bye. Okay, so now the thing is, okay, so after fifth year, you will not be using this 4 years data, correct? But do you keep all this 4 years data in S3? If you are not using it, let's say you are putting the data in S3 and you're paying 10 rupees, for example. Let's say you're paying 1,000 rupees, for example, and you are not using this data frequently. So, and you need to pay, you need to pay to AWS this 1,000 rupees. So if you're not using this data frequently, will you pay 1,000 rupees to AWS? So for this, AWS came up with the new service where generally, guys, tell me, in your laptop, if you're not using any data frequently, what do you do? You delete it, or if you want to somewhere, if you want to recollect your memories, what do? You will archive it, correct? You will archive it or not? You know what is archive? Zip it. Archiving is nothing but zipping. So you zip that and keep it somewhere. So here also, if you are not using your data frequently and you want to store it somewhere with cheaper price, AWS came up with a service called Glacier. What's that? This is for archiving archiving purpose. This is for archiving purpose. So do you think it is cheaper than S3? Yes, it is cheaper than S3. So all infrequently data is saved in or is stored in Glacier. All your infrequently data is stored in Glacier. Got it? Or your frequently accessed data will be stored in S3. Infrequently data is stored in Glacier. Make sense? Is this clear, Chiti? Good. Apurva Reddy is asking, archive meanings what exactly? Apurva, in your laptop, you zip which is not used and keep it aside. That is the same thing, is nothing but archive. Thanks a lot for correlating all the services with real-time storage methods. Correct. So guys, whatever I'm talking about for experienced people, it is like jamun, because many of the experienced people or many of the people doesn't know the relation between all these services. That's the reason why I took it as option 2. Remember, I give the information of multiple overview of services, and then we'll pick it up the service. This will really helpful for you. Okay, now Chitty here. This is your on-premises. This is your on-prem. Guys, yes, data size reduces. This is on-prem. PB, full form is petabytes, Akshay. Guys, what is on-prem? On-premises, on-prem, both are same? On-premises, on-prem, both are same? Yes, both are same, Babu. Because I still remember when I was in on-site, I sent a mail to my team member saying that please check on-prem. And she replied saying that, sir, I have checked with everyone. There is no person called Prem here. So it is not Prem. It's not Prem or Prem Guru or whatever it is. It is on-prem. Okay. So this is on-prem. Guys, in on-prem, we'll have so many servers, desktop, laptops, so many things will be there. Correct? Yes or no? So many servers, desktop, laptops, all the things will be there. And also you'll be having a storage in your on-premises. You'll having storage. Yes, you'll have a storage. Let's say in your on-premises, let's say you have 5 terabytes of storage. You have 5 terabytes. This 5 terabyte of storage is sufficient. In your on-premises, it's sufficient. For now, it might be sufficient. Maybe after 6 months, you need more. After 1 year, you need more and more and more and more. Correct? So in your on-premises, there is a requirement of having more and more storage. So your company will go and invest to purchase new storage, be getting more and more storage. They don't. But if at all they want, they need to pay so much of money. Correct? Which is our unlimited storage in AWS S3. How it would be if we use that unlimited storage S3 in your on-premises? How it would be? It would be superb or not? In our on-premises, we have a storage problems. In AWS, we have S3. That is unlimited storage. Can we use S3 in your on-premises? Generally, you cannot do it. But with this service, you can use it. And I'm telling those service, okay, let's say this is AWS. This is AWS. In AWS, what are the services we have? We have S3. What are the storage services we have? EBS, and we have Glacier. Okay. So, and we have FSX, remember? So, and these S3 you can mount this S3 buckets in your on-premises. You can mount this EBS on your on-premises. You can mount this Glacier on your on-premises. So this is possible using a service called storage gateway. What is that? Storage gateway. What is it today? Storage gateway. So you are using the combination of your own on-premises storage. Your own on-premises storage is private or public? Private. AWS S3 storage is public or private? Public. And you're using the combination of private and public. What storage is that called? Hybrid storage. There is a certification question. Which is the service in AWS works as a hybrid storage? Which service is that? Which is the service name? What is the service name? Storage gateway. What is that? Storage gateway. What is that here? Been for AWS almost 3 times. I'm very happy to be here. It's pretty clear in understanding. Oh, yes. I wish if yes, man, I understand, Gopi. Thank you for the feedback. But the thing is, yes, please. What should I do? You will get more than what you are paid. That is for sure. I can say the topics that we'll be covering. It is the teaching, the topic, and with Riyaz sir, there is no relation between what you have paid and what I will be teaching. It's completely different. But yeah, thanks for that. Is this clear till here, everyone? No, you cannot use Krishna. For now, you have S3, EBS, Glacier, and FSX. Only 4 will support in storage gateway. Is this clear till here? FSX is EFS, right? FSX, EFS, both are same. FSX is for Windows. Both are different. Super. Now, let's go for next very important thing, which is database services. Chiti, do you know RDBMS databases? In our academics, we have learned, correct? RDBMS databases. What is RDBMS? Relational Database Management Service. So we know RDBMS. So, by the way, anyone here in our class, any DBS, database administrator, or anyone who is handling databases? Anyone? Administrators? DBA, database administrator. Okay, now we have few people here. Just assume I'm talking about physical server. This is a physical server, guys. This is a physical server. And I have installed SQL server. Okay, for example, SQL server here. And it has, let's say, 8 GB RAM. Tell me, what are the most general problems that you get with the database machines? So let's start. Is it possible to set up high availability easily with your physical machines? Not possible. Possible or not possible? Not possible. So is it possible to set up HA? No HA. Is it easily, will you go and do elasticity can be achieved auto scaling on your databases? No elasticity. And what are the problems that you get? You have scalability issues. Can you increase all of from 8 GB to 32, 32 to 64, 61, 128? Can you do it? No scalability issues. What issues you get? You get performance issues. What issues you get? You get performance issues. Security issues. DB crash. Have you heard about DB crash? Storage issues. Network issues. Management issues. Replication issues. Upgrade issues. What else? Mirroring issues. Login issues. Data issues. What else? Maintenance issues. Integrity issues. I have so many. What else? Cost issues. Don't worry, I'll stop it here. Finally, you get headache issues. Right? So if I start doing it, if I start listing it, guys, the entire paint is not sufficient. Those many issues you'll get, because I was an all-rounder. I was also doing I'm not a DBA, but we used to do the DBA work also. So we have all these problems. Guys, is it easy to handle all these problems? So that is why people will hire a separate DBA. What is DBA? Database administrator. What the job of administrator is? To handle all these issues. Is it easy task? That's why at the end of the every day, he needs a big hug, because he'll be always crying by the end of the day, right? Because so many issues, he don't even go to home sometimes. So now, all these issues, no more. AWS is handling all these issues automatically, and AWS came up with a service called RDS. What is that? RDS, Relational Database Service. Relational Database Service. So Relational Database Service is completely managed by AWS. All these issues, you will not get it anymore. If you get it also, who is handling all these issues? AWS. So that's why a AWS engineer also will go and set up the databases. But Chitti, remember here, as an AWS engineer, we will go and set up, configure the databases. Will you go and log into inside it and then create tables, create functions, create procedures? Can we do that? That is not our job. Whose job is that? Developer's job. What are we doing it here? We will be setting up the database, configuring the database, securing it, taking the backups, managing and maintaining it, the databases. But we are not responsible going inside it, writing queries, subqueries, inner queries, outer queries, no queries, right? Understood? So here, RDS is a database service. Remember, RDS is not a database. It's a database service. Many people will get confused here. RDS is not a database. It is a database service. So how do we have EC2 instance? We create virtual machines, no? What is that virtual machine called? EC2 instance. Here, if you create we call it as RDS DB instance. What do we call? RDS DB instance we call. And remember, this RDS supports only RDBMS databases only. It supports RDBMS databases only. So what does this mean? Oh, by the way, if someone asks you what is RDS, can you say this? RDS is a service where you can set up, configure, manage, and maintain RDBMS databases in AWS. Simple. Can we say this? Apurva, EFS can be, okay, now there is question. EFS is moved, jump back to EFS. EFS can be mounted within the region availability zones only, not within other regions. Did we discuss this? So EFS can be mounted across availability zones. One EFS in Mumbai region can be, the same EFS can be attached to Ireland region. No, it is not regional, but there is a concept called global. You can concept called replication. We'll talk later, not now. Let's not. So guys, please understand, this is just again a trailer. We are not going in deeper into the service yet. Okay. Okay. So guys, here RDS supports 6 engines. How many? RDS supports 6 engines. Those are called MOM PMA. I remember like this. I'll write it. What are those engines? It is MySQL, Oracle, MS SQL, P for Postgres, MariaDB, Aurora. So these are the 6 engines. Guys, certification question. These are the 6 engines that RDS supports. So MySQL is an open source. Oracle is from which company? Oracle itself. MS SQL from which company? Which product is that? Microsoft. Postgres, again, it's open source. It is open source. MariaDB, it's community based. Aurora, who is the owner of Aurora? AWS. Perfect certification question. So, perfect certification question here. So, how many engines that RDS supports? 6 engine. So now you understand RDS is a database service. In RDS, we have how many engines? 6 engines. So whichever engine that you want, you go and launch a DB instance. And by the way, so you went and launched a DB instance. You went and launched a DB instance. You went and launched a DB instance. This is RDS DB instance. So which instance? Let's say Postgres. Can I launch Postgres engine? Yes, I can launch Postgres engine. Or you can launch whichever it is. Now tell me, the backend of this entire instance is completely managed by AWS. So guys, is it possible for me to log into that machine, DB instance? No. It's a service. So what you need to do, you need to just using the guys, let's say you have a database machine. You have the clients to connect to the DB engines? Yes or no? Can you tell me a few clients? If you want to connect to Postgres, which is the client that you use to connect to the Postgres? You have DBer, PG admin, SQL workbench. So we have so many clients will be there like this. So that will be connected to this engine. But is it possible to log into the engine? No, you can access it and then create the databases. So it is like a platform as a service. It is as a complete platform is managed by AWS. And which is the AWS baby? Aurora. Which is the AWS proprietary database engine? Aurora. Say that. Not Agora. Aurora. Right? Aurora. So Aurora. This is also a certification question, guys. It's a Aurora. So this RDS supports RDBMS engines only? Yes. RDBMS engines. So guys, let's say in your on-premises, you have some Postgres machines and you want to migrate it. There is a service called DMS, Database Migration Service. So using this DMS, you can migrate your database to AWS. Migration meaning moving your databases from on-premises to AWS. Okay, nowadays, have you heard about the word or concept called NoSQL? Heard it, right? Heard it, NoSQL. So what is the NoSQL databases that you know? MongoDB, Cassandra. You have so many like this, right? So this is, we'll talk about NoSQL when we go deeper. But here nowadays, if you want to increase the performance, if you want to have a super fast database, will you go for RDBMS or will you go for NoSQL? NoSQL only nowadays. So we have so many MongoDB, Cassandra in the market. We have so many databases like this. And AWS also has to introduce his own database which supports NoSQL. And that database name is DynamoDB. What is that? DynamoDB. It's a NoSQL. It's a NoSQL database in AWS. It's a NoSQL database service in AWS. No, Swapnil, depends. Depends. If you have a requirement to go with the NoSQL databases, which is the service in AWS we have, DynamoDB. If you want to go with the RDBMS databases, which service we have? We have RDS. Aurora is one of the engine inside it, right? Yes. So this is relational. NoSQL is relational or non-relational? Yes, it is non-relational. It's a non-relational databases. Okay. Chiti, do you remember initially we discussed about what is database? What is database? Database is used to store the data, correct? Database is used to store the data. Did I told you that database is used to store huge data? No. Database is used to store the data. But if you are storing the huge data, this is called data warehouse. What is that called? Data warehouse. So what is the data warehouse service in AWS? Redshift. What is that? Redshift. Is a data warehouse in AWS. Everyone understood? Which is a RDBMS database? Which is a RDBMS database service in AWS? Everyone. RDS. RDS supports how many engines? 6 engines. What are those? Yes, call it as MOM PMA if you want to remember. Which is the AWS proprietary engine? Aurora. Which is the service used to do the migration? Database migration? DMS. And which is the NoSQL service in AWS? DynamoDB. And if you want to use data warehouse concept, which is the service is that? Redshift. Is this clear till here? So I have only one service and database service that we need to discuss. Very easy. Quickly, I'll say. See here. I'll take one example. I give some name. So I'll take Vishal. Huh? Okay, I'll take Vishal. So we have Vishal here, guys. Vishal, listen this carefully. Few minutes. Everyone have this habit. Everyone, what do we go? We go to the online, any kind of e-commerce website like Flipkart or Amazon, right? Or anything. So let's say I go for the Flipkart or Amazon. We have a habit of every day we go to the same Flipkart or every day we'll go to the same Amazon.in and we have a habit of searching few things. Let's say we have a habit of, someone have a habit of searching shoes. Someone has a habit of searching mobiles all the time. Someone habit of searching watches, correct? Everyone has the same habit. Let's imagine Vishal is a person here. He has a habit of searching for shoes all the time. Guys, whenever he's searching for the shoes, in the backend, the request will go to where? Application server only, no? Directly. I mean, we have so many things. So it will go to the application server, yes or no? This is the application server. From application server, the request will go to, in the backend, DB server, correct? Database server. It'll go to the database server. And from the database server, we have it'll go to the hard disk, correct? City. We have a hard disk. So whenever someone asks, whenever Vishal is asking for the shoes, so the request will go to application server. From application server, it will go to the database server. From database server, it will go to the hard disk, and it will get the data from the hard disk, and it will give it back to here. Give it back to the application server, and it will go back to the Vishal, correct? This is a normal scenario, correct, guys? Now tell me, second time also is asking for the shoes. Okay. Third time also is asking for the shoes. Fourth time is asking for the shoes. Fifth time is asking for the shoes. Sixth time is asking for the shoes. If at all, if application server has a face, can you tell me how does the application server will put the face? Yes or no? Why he's asking all the time same data again and again? The application server itself is putting that kind of feeling. How about database server? Where he need to go and get the data from slower hard disk, correct? So he'll also put, what macha, what you are doing? Huh? He goes up, he goes mad. Correct? Why they are putting the faces like this? Because you are asking the same data again and again, again and again, again and again. And the process has to be replicated. The same process has to be replicated or recreated or will be used again and again. So tell me here, instead of going to the slower hard disk all the time, this, can I say these are all frequently accessed data? Frequently accessed data. Guys, can I store all this frequently accessed data in memory? Instead of going to my hard disk, guys, database, we will be, what do? We cache it. What we do? We cache it. Can we cache it? Yes, this is called cache memory. What is this called today? Cache memory. So all frequently data will be cached in this memory. Now tell me, if seventh time is asking for the same data again, the application server will hit the database server, or will it hit with the cache memory? Excellent. It will hit the cache memory, and cache memory will give the data back to it. If you do like this, what will happen? What do you get it? Yes, you will get super fast response. Correct? Yes. So there is a service where it will help to cache your database. Here, there is a service called Elastic Cache. What is it, Chitty? Elastic Cache. And we call it as in-memory database caching service. In-memory database caching service. Can we achieve low latency with this? Can you achieve high performance? Yes. Chitty, RDS supports how many engines? This Elastic Cache supports 2 engines. Elastic Cache supports 2 engines. That is called Redis and Memcached. What is that? Redis. Tell me that. Redis and Memcached. What is that? Memcached, Redis and Memcached. So guys, these both are databases only. But what database is there? Cache databases. What database is that? Cache databases. This is in-memory databases. So instead of going to the slow databases in the backend, in between, can you set up this in-memory database like Redis and Memcached and increase the performance of your application? Understood? I'll stop it here. What did we discuss today? Okay, quickly, guys, everyone. If I want to have a shared storage, which is a service do you recommend for? EFS. What is the full form of EFS? EFS is for which operating system? Linux operating system. EFS works on which protocol? NFS version 4. And for Windows, which is a service do you use for shared storage? FSX. EFS is completely managed by AWS. EFS is limited storage or unlimited storage? Unlimited storage. And if I have so much of huge storage in my on-premises, I want to transfer it to S3. Can I transfer it online? No. Which is the service do we recommend? Snow Family. How many members are there? 3. What are those? Snow Cone, Snow Edge, and Snow Mobile. Very good. And all these are all physical data transfers? Yes. So which is the service used for archiving purpose? Archiving purpose. Glacier. What is that? Glacier. Archiving purpose? Glacier. Which is the service used for hybrid storage? Storage Gateway. Which one is that? Storage Gateway. Very good. And then if I want to set up a databases, which service do you recommend? RDS. RDS supports what type of databases? RDBMS databases. Do we need to manage the platform of RDS? No. Who will manage it? AWS. And RDS supports how many engines? 6 engines. What are those? MOM PMA. Which is the AWS proprietary database engine? Aurora. If you want to migrate any database from your on-premises to AWS, which is the service to use? DMS. And then which is the service? NoSQL database service in AWS? DynamoDB. Which is the service which supports data warehouse in AWS? Redshift. And which is the service for in-memory database caching service? Elastic Cache. In-memory database cache. What is that? Elastic Cache. What is that? Elastic Cache. Elastic Cache supports how many engines? What are those? Yes. Not Reddy. Redis and Memcached. Excellent. So we have learned so many services today. Any questions? A database is Travani. Database is different than normal file storage. In file storage, you can just use, you put some files. Database is completely different, right? It's a relational database services where you create tables, rows, columns, etc., right? That is different than normal file storage where you put your documents. Difference between relation and non-relation. That is the difference between your RDBMS and NoSQL. That when we go deeper, we'll talk about it. Solution architects, AWS engineer, Mahesh. If it data chain in data cache update the data set, yes, that is the Apurva. That is the strategy that developers should use from their applications. Yes, we'll be doing it. And also, guys, a Google Classroom link got created. Those who have completed their formalities, please message to admin. They will send this notes link, Google Drive link. Okay. That is the admin number. Please copy it. Manoj Kolla. Bobby, guys, everyone are asking when we are going to this on AWS console. I'm telling again and again, we are just going through overview of the concept. Once we are done with the overview, let's say in a couple of days, then we take a service, we'll do the deeper and then practicals on each of the service. Patience. Little bit. Sharmila, on the left side, all these options, you don't need to worry about all this. If you missed also, no problem, because all these things we'll not be talking about. All these things is completely managed by AWS. Okay, good. Can I give you the final CC? Great. So that is all, guys, for today. And I'll see you tomorrow with the next topic. Until then, take care. Bye-bye. Have a nice day and good night. Don't miss the class. Bye-bye.